Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. Every once in a while on the channel, I will drop a very short video on paint protection film and the different packages we have. And I'll also run them on other social media outlets like Facebook and Instagram. They normally run 2 to 3 minutes, but they don't get a ton of views. But I was asked by a few, and including some customers, to slow it down a little bit, maybe make the video a little bit longer and explain what I'm doing, because they're truly interested. So we have a brand new M2 BMW. We brought it straight from the dealership. We're going to protect it. So let me run you through this. So right now, after cleaning it, after whatever paint correction you want to do, we need to squeegee this. And yes, this is like nails in a chalkboard to me, but it's truly the only way to remove every bit of contaminant by flushing it off and using a squeegee. That includes lint from a microfiber. That's why we just can't use towels. Once that's done, we will load it up with slip solution. That is a mixture of and it could be a couple different things. It could be J&J, Johnson & Johnson's. It could be Seventh Heaven. We use something called Spider Spit, and we mix it with water. And that's the soapy solution you see under the film. And that's there so we can move the film around without the adhesive catching onto the surface. Once corners are tacked and we like it just where it's at, by hand we'll start to move out all of the larger bubbles and some of the moisture, just like this, with our hands. And all that's left is a little bit more moisture and some of the smaller bubbles. By the way, there are many packages to choose from here at Apex Detail when it comes to protecting your car with films or coatings or a combination of films and coatings. This protection package right here is called the Track Pack, and this car will probably be tracked in field of Pocono, maybe in New Jersey, Virginia. So the whole front clip is going to get protected. And right now we have the hood completely covered except for what's overhanging. And we did what we call a bulk install. So we pulled film right off of the roll and we custom cut it just like we are right here. And we roll over the edges to ensure a nice, complete and clean install. Nothing exposed. No film to be seen. It looks like the car hasn't even been filmed. So a Track Pack, the entire front clip, so hood, fenders, headlights, driving lights, trim, bumper, absolutely everything from the windshield forward gets covered. And then sometimes a combination of lower rocker, lower doors, and both. So you're protected from not only things flying at you from in front, but your own tires and wheels kicking things up. And also other small areas like the A-pillars, mirrors, and maybe pieces of the rear bumper or the full rear bumper. So at this point, what he's doing, he's flushing out the edges from the J&J or the Seventh Heaven or the Spider Spit with an alcohol solution, which kind of dries things out and lets the adhesive make contact with the surface. And he will use the aid of a heat gun here as well. We're now slowly rolling over the edges to complete the install. As you'll see here, he's not completely rolling the film over the edge. He's just slowly rolling it over, working out the moisture, working out the air, making sure the adhesive is making some excellent contact. By the way, our PPF install techs are highly trained. They have different types of training. So you're not getting training from just one person. You're getting the outlook of many and putting it all together and making it your own. And these guys are young, yes, but they are good, including myself, which is certified. We also have 3 part-time employees, including a retired vet, and they are all in the process of getting certified as well. So with the hood finished, we can now move on to the fenders. And they are prepped. We are now soaking it with the solution. Then we can squeegee off to make sure there's no contaminants, no fibers, no dust whatsoever. That's why we have the clean rooms here, or those tents, which also double as light stands. And with everything cleaned off and prepped, we can get the fender on there. What he's doing is tacking and lining up corners, stretching it, tacking and lining up opposite corners, and then squeegeeing out the moisture and air bubbles in between. It may look very easy. He's making it look easy. And it's not rocket science. But, guys, it can be difficult and it can be frustrating at times. You need to read the film. He nailed it with the fender, as he does with most of the panels. But you need to read the film and see what it needs. Does it need to be stretched? Does it need to be moved or twisted? I mean, there's many ways that you can manipulate the film to get a clean install with no adhesive marks. And adhesive marks come from lifting, positioning, repositioning, lifting again, and just over manipulating the film. The adhesive then gets distorted. You see that through the film, and it just makes it look ugly. So here we have another nailed panel. Looks fantastic, and we can keep moving on. The hood was a bulk install, and the fenders, doors, quarter panels, roof, and trunk can be as well. When it comes to bumpers and some of the more intricate designs of the panels, like front bumper, headlights, mirrors, a plotter is going to be your best friend, and that receives information from software in your computer, which will give it a digital render so it can cut out a perfect match piece to go over your bumper or the headlights or mirrors. And all you have to do is attach the pieces. By the way, you don't have to use exactly what they give you to cut out. You can manipulate the patterns. We use Core, so you can customize the pieces that the plotter cuts out for you for, again, a nice, clean install. And a lot of these bumpers, they're going to have many pieces. It can be seamed. We try to do it in one piece when it's called for, but sometimes you need to seam some pieces together, and there will often be many pieces of trim within the bumper area to do as well, including the headlights, the grille area. Headlights are cut by the plotter as well. They are an exact fit and just need to be stretched a little bit and manipulated to fit correctly. It's a good idea sometimes, and you'll see us do this, jumping around from one area to another. That gives some of the film a little bit time to dry when we're planning to put a piece next to it, and there's a chance we could bump up against it. We give it some time to dry out a bit and start to tack and get a good bond with the surface. So, if you want to plan out your install from the beginning, it can speed things up. You want to be efficient. You don't want the film to slow you down. From here, he's going to go over to the passenger side and start to protect the lower doors. Lower doors, part of the track pack in this kit, and the film goes up to the body line or the contour of the lower door and sort of blends right in. You hardly see the line at all. From here, we're going to go back up to the top of the vehicle again and start to protect the A pillars. A great addition to the track pack. Anything flying up can definitely give a direct hit to the A pillars and chip them. So we run the film from the bottom of the A pillar all the way up to either where the trim goes across or the top of the windshield goes across, and it looks seamless if done right. Mirrors are next, and this happens to be a 3 or 4 piece mirror. Sometimes you can do them in one piece. It's a great idea and a great looking clean install when you can do it in one piece, but sometimes it's just not feasible and doesn't make sense, and you just go with the kit that Core gives you and the plotter cuts out for you. When you're doing a bulk or one piece, you just slice a 3x3 section, 2x2 section off of a roll, and you custom cut, custom fit your own. Back down to the bottom of the vehicle, we're going to start to protect the rocker panels. A lot of surface area on these rocker panels to protect a wide body or flared body kit is on this M2, and especially the flared areas. Those are most susceptible to rock chips, or if you're tracking it, rubber or track pieces and debris flying up and chipping the paint. If you love to track your car, PPF and paint can be easily cleaned if you have rubber flying up and making marks. Just get a little bit of Citral 266, spray it into a towel, rub the area lightly. It will remove it quickly and then flush the area or just wash the car. Back up to the front of the vehicle to finish up the trim. Black piano finish. Sometimes you have the carbon flash. This, if you carefully plan it out, you can jump around and get the vehicle covered without having to stop, but still leaving pieces dry out enough that if you bump up against them, you do no harm. Brian here has planned out his install very carefully. He's flying along and will have this entire kit applied rather quickly. So in addition to the pieces I've shown you here, sometimes they'll take care of the whole rear bumper or a small piece on the rear bumper. And that pretty much wraps up the track pack. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Catch you in the next video.